Good morning, you guys. Day number 88 of my sabbatical to 50. This is a 100-day journey, changing my body, my mind, watching what happens. And one of my favorite things that I've been able to do is connect with you guys here on what I have affectionately referred to as the walk and talk. And so thank you for being here. Come on in, guys. Make yourselves at home. Happy Saturday to you. It's so weird because 2 days ago, with it being Thanksgiving Day, it felt like a Saturday on Thanksgiving. And then yesterday felt like a Sunday. And now today we're on the real Saturday. So yes, it's quite the journey when there's a holiday week like this. How is the meat market? So I went to the farmer's market this morning. And oh my gosh, I couldn't believe when I walked up and there were like 10 vendors. Usually there's about 30. So significant thinning out. Now it was super cold this morning, like in the low 30s. And so some people probably went nope, or some people probably still had family in town for the holidays. So it is what it is. But my favorite meat vendor was there. My grass-fed beef vendor. And I said, you know what I want? So she had 20 pounds of grass-fed beef and I bought every bit of it. So I got 20 pounds for $160. And in light of what's happening right now with the price of meat going so up, I feel like stocking up now is the smart thing to kind of lock in that price. Plus they won't be there during the winter months. And so I need access to my food. So, yes, got that. My sausage vendor was not there. The pork supplier that I usually see, he was not there today, so I'm not sure where he was. But, yes, Saturday is farmer's market day. That's why I start so late. Did you guys notice a sound difference today? Let me know in the comments. Do you notice that my sound is different than it normally is? And that's because I bought some new earbuds. I have never worn earbuds in my life. Well, I take that back. I have worn earbuds, the ones that come with Apple, but those have always been horrible. They fall out of my ear, never worked. And so I listen back to some of these walk and talks and I go, man, I wonder if we could improve the sound of that by using earbuds. So today I have the Beats by Dre in my ears. So let me know what you think about the sound quality. Is it better? It's really weird talking and I feel like I've got a head cold because these things are in my ears, clogging up my ears. So normally I'm used to be able to hear my voice as I'm talking. Now it sounds like I'm doing this. It's kind of a weird sensation. I'll get used to it. But I'm going to start using these during the walk and talk, probably during my podcasts when I come back as well. But any difference, if you notice it, let me know. It's kind of cool. All right, so let me pin the topic that we will be talking about here today. Linda says it sounds fine. Well, I don't want it to sound fine, Linda. I want to know, is it better? Because normally it's so weird, the sound. You get all the nature sounds, and you probably will pick up some of that. But all those cars rushing by, I think this is going to help me focus a little more. So anyway, it is what it is. Thanks for the feedback, you guys. Not a big difference. I wouldn't know it was different if we couldn't see the earbuds. Well, all right. I'll tinker with it just to make sure. But if nothing else, they're in my ears and they're drowning out the sound. So maybe all those cars that rush by that usually make me cringe, maybe I won't cringe now because they're noise canceling. Anyway, I think there'll be a benefit once I get used to it. All right, so what are we going to talk about here today? I want to tell you a story of something that happened this morning that gets into this topic. So this morning I had to go fill up on gas. I went to Sam's Club to pick up a few things. And as I was leaving Sam's Club, I was like, okay, I'll stop and get gas. It's been crazy busy. It's still $2.80 a gallon, which I know is pretty low compared to a lot of other places around the country. And so I thought, okay, I'll fill up my gas. There's availability. So I pull up to the place to do my gas, and next to me, over from me, is this guy in a U-Haul. And I said, okay, I'm going to strike up a conversation with this man. Probably a man in his mid-60s. And I said, oh, a U-Haul. I've never actually rented a U-Haul before. And he said, yeah, getting my granddaughter home from college. Okay, cool. Is she graduating? Yeah, she just graduated. Okay, that's amazing. And I was like, what did she major in? Oh, architecture. Oh, awesome. Okay, well, you always will need architecture people. Buildings are always being made, and that's a nice career. And he's like, yeah, we were really proud of her. And I said, what, did she go to Clemson? He said, no, she went down to Savannah to go to school. I said, well, that's still close. That probably made you guys happy. He said, yeah. I said, well, at least it wasn't like UCLA. And he said, oh, actually, we toured that campus too. I was like, whoa, okay. Smart girl. And I said something about Harvard. He's like, yeah, we toured that campus too. I'm like, you got you a genius on your hands, applying to all these places. And then she chooses a college in Savannah. So anyway, I was having a nice little pleasant conversation. And I said, yeah, I majored in political science and English. And I said, I guess it worked out for me because I'm a writer today with the English part. Anyway, and so we had this nice little 5-minute conversation, human to human, didn't know each other. And it reminded me that we need to be reconnecting with humanity again. I feel like if we've learned nothing else over the craziness of the past 2 years, that we need each other. Now more than ever. We need each other to be in each other's lives, even complete strangers. It's why these walk-in talks are so fulfilling for me, because I know that a lot of you guys are encouraged by what I share here, and vice versa. I get so much hearing what you have to say about all the things I talk about here. And that's that reconnecting on a human level. And maybe leading up to the pandemic, that wasn't a priority in a lot of people's lives. And part of the challenge is we have replaced human interaction with social media. And I know that's ironic to be saying on a social media platform like Instagram, or if you're watching on the replay on Facebook, YouTube. Very ironic, right? But it's true. Nothing can replace human interaction, real life conversations, things that have you interacting with other human beings. And I go out of my way to be a positive light in those interactions. Just yesterday, I was at the grocery store picking up a few things, and in the parking lot is this gentleman that has worked there forever at that grocery store. Tall, slim, black man that he and I have gotten along quite well, always talk, ask about each other. He's so polite, and I've befriended him over the years. And it's cool. When you connect with humans, there's something within us that craves that. There's something within us that we get some kind of a special bond when we talk to one another. And I think a lot of people have, for the longest time, shut themselves out from the world and lived in a bubble. And I'm hoping these last 2 years have taught you, stop living in a bubble. Stop living as if there's nobody else around. Stop relying on you and only you, and you don't need other people. I get it, self-sufficiency is a thing. And you don't actually need other people to accomplish living life. But look at what you miss out on when you don't connect with other human beings. How do you ever grow? How do you ever expand who you are? How do you ever challenge your own beliefs and worldview? You need people. And if nothing else, you need people because they need you. It's not just about you. Who knows what that man was going through with the U-Haul this morning at the gas pump? Who knows if maybe he was having some negative thoughts. Now, I don't know his story. I don't know where he was state of mind. He seemed pretty okay. But we just don't know. And sometimes all it takes is a simple act of kindness and showing someone that they're being noticed. Sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes you might be the only smile somebody sees all day long. Sometimes someone may be contemplating doing something really bad, and your kindness and your love and your willingness to see them stops them. And I feel like we go through our lives and we don't stop. We don't look after one another. And I think it's all of our duties to look after one another and to make sure that we're okay. Even if it's somebody you don't know. I'd strike up conversations with perfect strangers all of the time. They don't know me, I don't know them, but we're bonded by humanity. And we need to reconnect with that humanity again. Have you been doing that? Is that something that you find now post the worst part of the pandemic? I know it's not over, but the worst part of it is over. And now people are re-emerging and reconnecting. Do you find that you kind of crave wanting that connection more now than maybe you did in 2019? If so, don't resist. If so, make those connections. Reach out to people. Talk to random strangers. You never know what a difference you're going to make in their lives. And it's something that I've never found hard to do, but now I feel compelled to do it almost on a constant basis. And think about where people's state of mind is. We've pretty much been cooped up as a society for the past 2 years. That doesn't come without consequence. I think maybe we took for granted that we were around people a lot prior to the pandemic starting. And now we realize, whoa, that thing I took for granted could be taken away in a moment. And we saw some of the ramifications of that last year. Massive suicides attempted, clinical depression. We had actually seen depression drug usage go down and anti-anxiety medication usage go down prior to March 2020. And after all this started, skyrocketed up again. And that to me is a travesty. So the pressure of all the things happening in the world, the calamity happening to people, we need each other. We do. Now more than ever before. So are you doing that? Are you being that kind voice, that smiling face that somebody needs? Because if you're not, I want to urge you today, be that. Be that light that somebody so desperately needs. Be that reason why they wake up in the morning and take another step and go another day when they don't feel like going. And I don't want you to have to over obsess about this, but just realize you may be the difference between somebody living or dying today. You may be the reason why they choose to move on and live their life rather than take it. I know that's kind of somber, but it's true. It's true. It's valid. And if we can't even show decency to one another, how do we expect society not to fall apart? Isn't that just like common knowledge? Treat each other well. And let me get real with you for a moment, because that's what I do. Treat yourself well. Reconnect with who you are. I think a lot of people have lost touch with who they are, with what they're about. They don't love themselves. They don't put in the effort to do anything about their own self. And so start there. If there's nobody in your life you can be human to other than yourself right now, then make it yourself. And you'll be better equipped when it comes time to be human with other humans. So that's what I wanted to say today, you guys. So day 88, if you just joined in, of my Stay Batical to 50. I got some nifty new earbuds, Beats by Dre. I like them. They're pretty comfortable, a lot more comfortable than the Apple earbuds I used to have. They're staying in. I can move my head and they don't come out. So that's cool. Hopefully it increases the quality of the sound for you guys. But tell me what you think about this topic today. Let's reconnect with humanity again. Is this something you prioritize? Is this something important to you? Or are you like, there's a lot of humans not worth connecting with, Jimmy, so no thanks. And I would make the argument that even those people, and especially those people that you feel like aren't worth connecting with, are the ones that need to be connected with. So let's see what you guys have to say. Talk to me here today on this beautiful Saturday here in South Carolina. See what you got for me. Happy Saturday, Sharon. Go, Jimmy, with chicken and bacon, says Bulletproof Coconut. Chicken and bacon. I'll take some bacon ranch chicken, bacon wrap chicken ranch. Okay, now I'm getting hungry. Jacob says, good work, Jimmy. Thank you. Linda says, good morning. What will you buy when the farm closes, says Bulletproof Coconut. Well, that's the reason I've been stocking up. So I've been stocking up for about 2 months now, going to the farmer's market and buying a whole bunch of grass-fed beef. And so I've got a deep freezer full. I probably have in my reserve, because I'm still eating a lot of beef every week, being carnivore. I still have in my reserve 80 or so pounds of grass-fed beef. So they're going to be open for another week, maybe 2 weeks. I forget exactly when they close, but I think I'll be ready. Plus, it locks in that price now, since the price of beef has gone crazy on everybody. I'm locking in the price that it is at now, and we'll worry about what it costs when I get back, or when they come back in March. But yes, got enough, I think, to get through the winter. Fingers crossed, anyway. Cena says, are you going to be able to hear the dogs? Oh, I see the dogs. And I can still hear, even with these things on, I can still hear dogs, but it'll be a lot fainter. I think the thing that gets me with the dogs, when they bark, it's usually so loud. So if nothing else, it will calm it down and I won't get such a shocked reaction. Like all these cars that have passed by, I know you guys can hear it because my earbuds are picking up that sound, but it's a lot more tolerable. It it just feels like my ears are all clogged up now with these things in my ears. So, that's the only bad thing. Wah, 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 wah. Good morning, Keto Carnivore Mama. Bulletproof Coconut says there's this one guy I've become friends with at Walmart, and we keep seeing each other. Yeah, like think about those people who you see all the time. I go to this car wash where I get a fast pass, and I go pretty often. And I know pretty much all the people that work there, and they know me. And yeah, sometimes I'll get there and there's no customers behind me. I'll sit there and have a 5 or 10 minute conversation with the person. And it's just about connection. We don't need to fear connecting with other people. And some people might say, well, I'm an introvert, Jimmy. I don't really just talk to people. Okay, fair enough. But you can be kind. You can hold a door open. You can smile. You can do things to show humanity. And that's all I'm talking about here today. Just show a little humanity. Remind people what being a human is like. And especially in areas where they're not wearing masks anymore, smiles are so sorely needed. We got so used to wearing masks, and people lost that visual from people. Sometimes when we had the masks on, you could tell somebody was smiling in their eyes, but there's nothing better than seeing a big mouthful of teeth and smiling at people. And so that could be something that you do that recognizes people's humanity. Think about that. Humans are very social creatures. They are. This is why the pandemic was so bad for our health. One of many reasons why it has been. But yes, from a social perspective, we've never experienced anything like that in our lifetimes. And it's a shame, because I feel like, especially for the kids, they lost so much social connection that I hope it doesn't irreparably damage them for life. And especially the kids that are very social. The kids who aren't very social probably loved the pandemic. They were in their zone, not having to be around other people. But then you have socialites like me, that the pandemic was miserable. And if it wasn't for having friends in my life that I could talk to and connect with, I don't know how I would have made it through there. Of course, I was going through some other stuff at the same time, but it can all be too much for some people. Connection is so important for your well-being, says Keto to Carnivore Mama. Yes. I feel like those people who don't want to connect with others, I'm shy, I'm an introvert, I don't really like other people, I worry about them. And a lot of them will say, well, I'm just fine, I don't know why you need to worry about me. Well, I worry about you because interacting with other human beings is as much a part of the human experience as anything else that we do. And if you cut yourself off from the world, I don't know how you live. I don't know how you have happiness and contentment and feel like you're growing. We need each other. Why do you think I'm so committed to all these walk and talks? I'm on this platform sharing because I feel that not just I need you, but for a lot of you, you need me. And I might be the only smiling face, the only positive voice you hear all day long. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool if I feed into you that way. And of course, I've told you guys how you feed into me, giving me an outlet. I get a distraction while I'm walking 4 miles. It's really nice. And so, don't cut yourself off. Maybe you've never even thought about being that active in someone else's life. Maybe you've never thought about reconnecting with humanity again. Maybe it's a little scary to you. Look, I get it. There are some people that won't respond well. We all know about the Karens of the world. Don't try to engage a Karen. You can't rationalize with someone who is irrational. But that's not most people. Not most people at all. Take that chance. You never know how it's going to make them feel, and quite frankly, how you are going to feel. That gentleman I connected with at the gas pump today, I felt a real connection there. 5 minutes of my day, we'll never see that guy again, but we made a connection on a very human level. And it's nice to be reminded that we are human still. Nice to be reminded we're not all robots going through life, living in a simulated world. And don't get me started on Mark Zuckerberg and his new Meta universe with replacing Facebook. I will never participate in that kind of thing. Give me real life. Give me real people. That's my jam. That's the only universe I need. I don't need an alternative universe to live a happy and fulfilled life. People turn to self-harm and drugs often when they're depressed and alone. Yes, they do. And it's because they lack the humanity. And look, I've had many moments, especially in the midst of what I went through for 2 years. I had many moments when I got in my own head and there were people not available. And look, the phone was great and I love talking to people on the phone, but I needed people. And last year I saw 8 total people. The whole freaking year. 8 people. That sucked. This year I've seen a whole lot more than 8, so that's good. And I've been able to travel and go to a couple of conferences. I'm planning on in 2022 going to a few more conferences. Brittany and I have been talking about doing a One Step Deeper conference, hopefully sometime late next year. So I need that. That connection with people is so vital. Got together with old friends last night. Felt good to get some normalcy again. Yes, the normalcy that we all crave. It's been so cool to watch the college football season this year and all the crowds of people at these stadiums. I'm like, they're not scared of this thing anymore. In their minds, it's over. And it's been beautiful to watch. And look, if somebody is still scared, okay, you can be scared. You can continue to not show humanity to other people, but some of us don't mind getting back out there. We know what we got ourselves into with this thing, and we're willing to take the risk. It's none of your business what we choose to do. Don't understand all the contentiousness around that. But humans went a little crazy last year. And it's why we need to reconnect. Remind those people who are so scared that they don't need to be scared. That there are bigger things in the world to be scared of, and blocking yourself off from society is a whole lot scarier than any virus will ever be, in my opinion. Cariana says, as an introvert, I can tell you we crave meaning in our interactions rather than quantity. Yes. And the only way you get that meaning in those very few interactions that you have is for people to show genuineness in their humanity towards you. Because if they didn't do that, Cariana, you would probably run away. So I agree with you. And I think it's essential. For sure. Kira says, as a rebel, I never locked down. I continued to go out and see people. Well, it wasn't so much what you yourself did, Kira. I agree with you. Neither did I. I didn't really wear a mask except on an airplane. I had one flight I had to do. But it's not about you. It's about other people. They weren't out. And so you had less interaction with other humans. And of course, I'm talking early on in this pandemic. I think it's been pretty normal for most people since last summer. And definitely this year. Very, very normal. I saw the statistics from the day before Thanksgiving this year. 2.3 million people went through TSA on Wednesday. Whereas last year it was 1.1 million. And then even in 2019, when there was no pandemic, I think it was 2.6 million that year, the day before Thanksgiving. So somewhat getting back to normal. But yes, I'm right there with you. I was a rebel. I mean, I did the duty early on to kind of stay apart, but then I'm like, well, I'm going to get out and about. I'm not scared. We're all going to get it eventually, and so why run from it? That was my philosophy from the very beginning. Bulletproof says, I used to be more introverted with more body fat. Some people hide themselves when they have more fat than they like. Yeah, they do. And definitely losing weight will boost your confidence and get you out of your shell a little bit. I saw that. Yeah, it's a cool feeling too when you connect with people and then they connect with you over your weight loss and there's natural conversation starter. So guys, day 88 of my Staybatical 250. We are closing down this thing, you guys. It's coming to an end here in just under 2 weeks. And I could not be more excited to get this thing done, accomplish the thing, and then learn the lessons from it, and then move forward once the new year comes. So if you missed the announcement I made yesterday, I will be making a walk and talk podcast out of these walks that I do. One reason I got the earbuds is I wanted to see if that would help with the audio quality if we're going to make these into podcasts. And I've got a unique idea for the podcast too. Not sure what I'm going to call it yet, but right now I'm just calling it Walk and Talk, but it'll be a podcast. And I'm going to take the best little snippets so you don't have to sift through everything. I'll take the snippets, try to make it maybe around 15 to 20 minutes, and then they'll be available in podcast form to listen to. So that'll be exciting to be able to share all this content in another format, but I'll still be doing them on Instagram Live and still posting on YouTube and Facebook and all the places. But now there will be a companion podcast that will go along with it. That should be a pretty easy podcast. Just cut up some of the audio to air on a podcast. So I am working on that for you guys. But yeah, day 88 of this Staybatical to 50. Been quite the ride, you guys. Really appreciate you coming along for that ride. And since you seem to be all talked out from this Let's Reconnect with Humanity again, we're going to go ahead and shut this down. But thank you so much for joining today. As always, look up the hashtag Staybatical250 all over Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You'll find it. You'll find all these videos. And then at my official website, livinlavida.com/staybatical. But thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I'll have another walk and talk real soon, and we'll see you then. Bye, guys.